PCOS herbal tea recipe. Here we go. First, you will need 4 tea bags. This makes 2 liters. I just use this tea. Any tea will do. This is just like the cheapest brand. 4 tea bags makes 2 liters. And then you'll also want some honey. I like this honey. It's very nice organic macadamia honey, and I just really love this. So if you're looking for some very organic, farm fresh honey, definitely go check out that website link. The honey is my new favorite thing ever. So you're gonna pour your boiling water. Like I said, 2 liters. You might have to like boil your kettle more than once for this. I'm just gonna pour all the water in until we have 2 liters. Okay, so once the water is in, we are gonna stir it up a little so that the tea bags mix with the water. So you'll just stir it around a little. And you can also press the tea bags a bit, just so that they steep nicely. And then you're going to take your honey, and you can add honey to taste. You do not have to add the same amount of honey that I do. So for the macadamia honey, this is 2 liters. So I do add, these are tiny spoons, so I add a few of these in. So roughly about like 8 or 9 tiny spoons of this. But the spoons aren't like completely full, and these are tiny spoons. If you're using the cinnamon honey, like I bought the cinnamon one from them as well, I will share more information later on in this video about that. But if you take the cinnamon, you use about half the amount of honey, because the cinnamon is stronger and more overwhelming in flavor as opposed to the macadamia honey. So you can just add it to taste. If you want it sweeter, you can add more. If you don't want it as sweet, you don't have to add as much. And if you don't want to use honey, you can use sugar. It's just not going to be as healthy, and then it's not really going to help your PCOS out a lot. Honey isn't like actually that great for it either, but I mean, what are we supposed to eat and drink with our PCOS, okay? So this is nice. Like my tea blend, I do this with green tea, and my tea is like green tea with mint infused and with honey. And yeah, you'll just keep adding honey to taste and just stir it in. I like to add the honey while the tea is still hot so that it can melt and like integrate with the water to make a very delicious iced tea. So once all your honey is in, you're just going to stir it all up so that everything gets mixed nice. And yeah, like I said, you can just add honey to taste. But for reals, this is like the best honey ever. Definitely go check out that link. This is like my 2nd jar, and it's almost done. So just make sure to stir it up really nice and well, just so that everything gets nice and mixed. And then we can add this in the fridge with the tea bags so that it can steep. There we go, into the fridge. I even leave the spoon in there. So we're gonna wait a little bit for this to just cool down a little bit so that I can throw it in my bottle. I don't like doing that when it's like boiling. So it just needs to cool down and steep for a little while. So we will check back in a little while for that. Okay, as you can see, some time passed, and I think it is ready. It has steeped for a while and has cooled down for a little bit. So let's go get our tea out of the fridge. Now you are just gonna like grab your tea bags and you're gonna scoop them out, press them out. Okay, and then we're just gonna mix it up again, so that all the honey and everything goes into the tea. Make sure, if anything's at the bottom, it's in there. And then I have my 2-liter bottle over here, and we're just gonna pour the tea in there. This makes it very easy to just pour into a glass when I want a nice cup of iced tea. So this tea I do drink black, like iced tea. This one's black. The cinnamon one, I add a wee bit of milk, and you can like add any type of milk. If you want to add milk, you don't have to. You can use almond milk, coconut milk. I just use normal low-fat cow milk. Okay, dairy's not too great for PCOS, but every little bit helps. So here we have it. Delicious iced tea. Here it is in the cinnamon form with the milk. Very delicious. Cinnamon is also great for PCOS, by the way. And here you have it. Here is the honey. You may have seen this video before. It's hive to table, organic, farm fresh, just very delicious honey.